Hello everyone, welcome to Game 1 now in a series between Th000 and Fly. Game 1 taking place here on Ancient Isle. We see Fly spawning as the purple orc on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile on the top left hand side of the map, we have Th000 spawning as the light blue human. So human versus orc. I believe Th000 does like human in a human versus orc matchup, and we'll see what will come of this particular game. Now, someone had mentioned like, hey, I made fun of ghouls who carried lumber. What about a Torren Chieftain who carries that gigantic tree trunk as he walks around? Isn't that like a lot more heavy? Like, well, that's true and all, but the Torren Chieftain actually attacks with that giant tree trunk and swings with it. So that's like someone saying like, hey, isn't that bat kind of heavy? Why don't you just attack with your claws instead? It's like, no. I'm going to carry the bat, but I'm going to attack with my claws. All right, Fly. We'll see what his strategy will be. It looks like it will be a Farseer coming out as the primary hero, going up against an Archmage. Archmage is already halfway done. There will be a slight advantage there. We'll see what Fly will be doing with this one particular Farseer. And if it is going to be Chain Wave as a strategy, Chain Lightning plus Shockwave, I believe all Th000's really going to do is just transition into Spellbreakers instead. So far, Th000's at 20 over 24, now training up an additional footman there. Footmen should be able to wander around over here. We should see some militia creeping coming in here in just a moment, or perhaps Th000 is just going to continue to train up a lot of peasants and then eventually go into a militia creeping down here and try to set up an expansion at the 9 o'clock position. Water Elemental is already out. There is an ensnare. Water Elemental doing a great job tanking. However, that's going to be a little bit too much damage. The Water Elemental should perhaps back off here in just a moment. Otherwise, it's going to lose that additional DPS, and no, he's just going to take that damage and now fall. So Troll Trapper and Ogre Warrior are going to fall as well. Troll Trapper will finally go down. It is going to be a 5-3-3 creep camp, a Manual of Health, a very nice item, as the Farseer now making its way over, and how much harassment can it do? Farseer is off over here as the Archmage now trying to run away. Farseer are going to be chasing after those militia or those peasants, and no arcane tower. That is going to be big news. No arcane tower means that those spirit wolves maybe actually be able to deal a little bit of damage. One low hit point militia Archmage now trying to run away from that Farseer. Farseer getting off some easy shots there onto that Archmage, down to 386 hit points, as the militia may be able to perhaps take down this one spirit wolf. The spirit wolf already down to 29 hit points. It looks like it will be resummoned. No experience for this one particular Archmage, as the Archmage still wandering around. Damage is being dealt. Grunt now trying to come back in as the footmen are trying to make their way back and around once more. Th000 going into a very quick tier 2, as one peasant is going to get taken down. So one worker has been taken down. You can see, Th000 now coming in with that arcane tower. Needs the speed build it, as the water elemental now is making its way out. One very low hit point spirit wolf needs to back away. Any deaths now from Fly will end up giving level 2 to that Archmage. Level 2, a very problematic thing, as you do not want to deal with that additional mana on that Archmage. All right, we're going to see a very low hit point Farseer down to 37 hit points. That is a very gutsy Farseer still staying in this fight. Not quite sure if I would be doing that at all, as the Farseer is just being very careful with that little lightning attack, and the wolves are still trying to run around. It is causing a little bit of delay here, as the militia are going to be able to take it down. I believe now level 2 on that Archmage. There you go. And now with that Brilliance Aura going to cause a little bit more problems. Once again, the Farseer down to 51 hit points still, and somehow still engaging here, as the Farseer now needs to be very careful. Low hit point Grunt now down to half life. The Water Elemental now going after the Grunt instead of after the Farseer. The Farseer could pull away here, as now we are going to see the Archmage now trying to make their way down, and the Grunt is still making its way over. A little bit of a lag issue for some of the observers. We're going to see the Farseer now at the center of the map. We are going into a stronghold already. Voodoo Lounge about to be completed, and now it looks as though this one Orc Burrow may get taken down. We are sitting at, I believe, 29 over 30 supply. That is not good. Fly is not going to be able to get out that second hero very quickly at all, especially with the Water Elemental now putting pressure on that Orc Burrow. The Orc Burrow down to 25, 6, 12 hit points. Down it goes. I don't believe it was canceled at all, and that is going to be problematic as Th000 now tries to run away. Farseer picking up some healing salves, also has a speed scroll going to come in with the bestiary as well, taking a bit of damage. Farseer, where is he going to run to? Archmage moves pretty quickly as well. The Farseer now regenerating some hit points, now going to be turning back around again, as the Archmage may be able to pick up, yes, he is going to be able to pick up a Tavern Hero in just a moment, perhaps a Beastmaster. and do that push with all of those Quill Beasts. Farseer is still dancing around the corner, still sitting at level 1. Archmage may be able to come back in, but no, the Archmage now taking a damage of his own, now down to 179. What's going to be happening over here? As you can see that the Altar of Storms is taking a bit of damage. We are going into a Spirit Lodge, but we are currently supply block Fly, unable to pick up any Tavern heroes at all. And with Th000 moving out with Quill Beast and a level 2 Archmage, level 1 Water Elementals, this is going to be problematic. Alright, Water Elementals still continuing to dance around and deal a little bit of damage. The Farseer now trying to pull back again as the Farseer looking to chase after those Water Elementals. And do we see Militia is now a key question as the Archmage, low on hit points, able to get around. Beastmaster looking to come in and put pressure on this, perhaps the Spirit Lodge as it is currently being built. You can see that there is a couple Orc Burrows now launching some spears. Water Elementals now coming in as well. Spirit Lodge taking a lot of damage, down to 400 hit points already. This is not good news at all. Fly may end up losing the Spirit Lodge, or is he going to be... No, he is going to try to repair it. No, lets it finish just so that it falls. And that is another issue once more. Fly now getting in some quick kills here. The Archmage is back, but currently low on hit points. Ensnare now being added. We are going into a Torren Chieftain. Torren Chieftain is finally out. And are we going to perhaps see a Shockwave and a Chain Lightning? Both heroes are sitting at level 1. Another Spirit Wolf gets taken down by some Quill Beasts. 3 Quill Beasts at a time as the Archmage still battling it up. A low hit point Grunt now needs to be very careful as it is running next to his Beastmaster. That Grunt very low on hit points, down to 37 as another Quill Beast comes in. That Grunt will eventually get quilled to death by those Quill Beasts. And now all we're going to see is the Archmage and the Beastmaster run all the way back. Alright, Torren Chieftain Farseer still sitting at level 1. Fly is pretty much very far behind at this point. The Quill Beasts are going to take down that Spirit Lodge very easily. No, simply ignoring it now, going after some peons instead. Farseer now looking to get to level 2, but is not going to get to level 2. And may end up losing a Null Overseer. Losing a Farseer to a Null Overseer. What was that about? Wow, that is not the typical Fly I expect to see. Torren Chieftain will get to level 2, but that was a horrible play. The Farseer will come back out. I guess it is cheaper to resurrect than to try to heal him back up. No, the healing salves would have made it much easier. And that's going to be really problematic. Farseer about 60% already out now. The Torren Chieftain does have Endurance Aura, should be able to run back home very quickly. Actually, no, you're right. He just has a giant tree on his back, and he does not attack with it. He actually has an axe. Torrens walk around with the giant tree and attack. All right, not the Torren Chieftain. All right, Null Seer still coming in with that Null Warden. Null Overseer looking to do a little bit of chase, as we should be seeing some Militia coming in as well. Th000 pretty much going in for the kill now. And I gotta say that Fly does not look to be in a good situation at all. Farseer sitting at level 1. Torren Chieftain sitting at level 2. Does have a speed scroll. In comes some guard towers. Peons now making a move out. Are we going to perhaps see some Spirit Walkers? Yes, but it may be too little, too late. There is a Shockwave coming in. It looks like the guard towers will get taken down here. One guard tower almost gets taken down. It is going to get canceled, as it is going to be repaired and upgraded again. Another guard tower off over here looks like it could get taken down. There's another Shockwave going down the line, dealing a lot of damage back and forth to Torren Chieftain, now essentially out of mana. Does have a potion of mana though, and there you go, gets in another beautiful line, a beautiful Shockwave. And the Beastmaster now sitting at level 2. If the Torren Chieftain has enough for another Shockwave, that may be simply enough to take down a lot of these units here. So many peons down, and Fly somehow really making this battle look like he's going in his favor. What's going to be happening here? The Torren Chieftain still battling it up. Archmage, the heroes, level 1, level 2, level 2, level 2. So yeah, one level 1 hero. That Farseer still low on hit points and low on experience. It looks like the Spirit Wolf will get taken down. Level 3 now on the Archmage. All that effort by that Torren Chieftain. Level 2 now on the Farseer. Is the Torren Chieftain perhaps going to buy another potion of mana from the Voodoo Lounge and then try to go in for more Shockwaves? We do see a Clarity Potion come in. The Quillbee is going to quickly just try to engage and take down that additional mana on that Torren Chieftain, and that's going to be the problem, as mass casters against no Spirit Walkers, mass casters and mass summons against no Spirit Walkers. Farseer now looking to make its way over as the Voodoo Lounge will get slowly taken out once more. Raiders now coming in. Raiders coming in for an ensnare. Get off an easy kill on a Sorceress in transit. Torren Chieftain now trying to engage. The Torren Chieftain does have enough for a Shockwave. Will we be seeing that anytime soon? Farseer has enough for some Spirit Wolves. Yes, all the Spirit Wolves are pretty much down. Another Footman does go down. There's a Disenchant to remove the slow. Is the Speed Scroll still available? Yes, the Torren Chieftain and the Farseer both have Speed Scrolls at this point, and the Torren Chieftain now sitting at level 3. Torren Chieftain at level 3, get off a beautiful Shockwave there, and now we may see another Water Elemental getting taken down. Yes, down it goes, and we're still seeing a lot of healing come across from Samdan. The Priest really doing their job. Torren Chieftain now trying to make its way back over. Speed Scroll is being utilized by the Farseer, and there is another Shockwave coming in. The Torren Chieftain now very low on hit points as the casters are backing all away, and Samdan, who looked like he pretty much could have tower rushed and destroyed Fly there. Fly with some beautiful shockwaves and a beautiful line engaging and taking down units with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Torren Chieftain sitting now at level 3. Farseer sitting at level 2. Both of them, or excuse me, the Farseer has a Clarity Potion on him. And now are we going to see any additional engagements? Oh, the Sorcerer's already coming back in. Spellbreaker coming in. There is a slow. And are we going to see perhaps a Speed Scroll come in? The Farseer now in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see the units actually try to run away? Yes, another Spirit Wolf does get taken down. The Torren Chieftain trying to stay very close to that Farseer. But now level 3 on the Beastmaster. Level 2 Quill Beast, meaning that they're going to be dealing even more damage. But is Fly going to perhaps just try to dispel magic and unsummon them all that way? Archmage sitting at level 3. Beastmaster sitting at level 3. Casters, Militia are in position. No anti-air, no head hunters to really take down any of these buildings whatsoever. Spellbreakers are in position. There is an ensnare or two. Sorceress, however, still in that engagement as the Torren Chieftain now needs to figure out, yes, does get off a Shockwave down up the middle, as there is also a little bit of slow cast across a bunch of the peasants. More Disenchant. The Sorceress pretty much now out of mana. Another Shockwave comes in. The Torren Chieftain pretty much out of mana now, but is it going to be enough? Those guard towers look like they are going to be able to finish here in just a moment. Is it? Yes, another Shockwave comes in, and both sides are still fighting. Samdan still trying to stay off here, and it looks like one of the guard towers may go up here. Both sides still fighting peasants and peons, both either attacking or repairing, as the Torren Chieftain is now using a Speed Scroll. Another tower does go down. Fly sitting at level 3. Level 3 now on the heroes, and both sides are still fighting it up here. There is one Arcane Tower, and the Torren Chieftain needs to get off a Shockwave. Does get exactly another Shockwave there, and now perhaps if it can get off one more will be enough, but the Arcane Tower is causing problems, and there is the GG. A beautiful fend off there, but Samdan able to rinse and repeat, come back in once more for the victory. Samdan taking game 1 in this series from Ancient Isle. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.